Welcome, welcome. Today we're just going to do a simple little idea. I've got it on. It won't take you a lot of time. And my goal on these Thursdays is to just really put pattern and fabric together, give you some, maybe some new little idea that you hadn't thought about, and to just really keep your sewing simple. Simple. I think the webcast we've designed to be more complex. PBS is probably even more complex. So that's kind of the differences. People say to me, what's all the differences? These are really just quick, fun sewing ideas. They come out Thursday night, like maybe for the weekend. You can, or the next weekend after, you can get them going and together. So I usually pull from trends that I'm seeing out there. And this in particular is coconut buttons. They're just all over the place. So I'm going to scroll through. There's some pictures here that I've found to just show you some different uses. I loved the one I have on. It was the winner for me. I just thought it was just the cutest ever. I don't have a photo of it because it was at the store, but I just really, really liked it. So this was the one I chose to do. So the goal is to do asymmetric and to pull the color of this fabric that you're using up with the coconut buttons. So you see the solid is going to be your overlay. So I didn't do, this is not a lot of changes. It's just really easy. I think it's just pattern, fabric, button combination. So I'm just going to go through that process with you and help you make something fun for the weekend. And of course the fabric dresses it up or dresses it down, and then what you pair it with. Those are all things that are under your decision-making process. It's just really fun. And people will email me all the time and say, what would you do? You don't want to know what I want to do. What you want to do is make opinions, do them, and then what you start to do is you start to figure out that you either like what you're doing or you don't like what you're doing, and then you make changes. So the good news about sewing is it's lots of fun. The bad news about sewing is you learn a little more about yourself, and that's exciting. All right, so let's go through the process. Pattern number 127 is what I used. All right, it's called Aquila's Asymmetrical Top. So asymmetric right there, it was all done for me. The base of this, though, is the sweater set, 195. So whatever changes you made to the sweater set, I picked the exact same size, and I did the exact same changes to this one that I made for myself. On the back, when you're choosing fabric, it says 2 yards. So when you're using two colors like this, you can see one sleeve is one color, one sleeve. Split it right down the middle. 1 yard of each will do perfect. So whatever fabrics you're deciding, a yard of each will work for you. And again, this is just easy and fun and quick. And so what I did in this case, obviously, is I used my coconut buttons to vertically move my line up and down. So you can see that it's a slimming look because the eye's going up and down. You can't even help it. You can't go across the body. I mean, unless you consciously now try to, but your eyes are going up and down. This side is the overlay, and this side is no overlay on that side. And then I just paired it with a pair of, black leggings. You could do jean leggings, etc., etc. Okay, changes to the pattern. Let me tell you the fabrics. The fabrics I used, pattern number 127. 2223 is my animal print, and 1768 is my solid. Okay. Those are fabric numbers, and then obviously the coconut buttons are on the fabric as well, and then I used 5 of them. On this overlay, you've got a front overlay and a back overlay, and those obviously, and then one sleeve is going to be done one color, and then the base is going to be done front, back, and one sleeve. When I did my overlay, I wanted this overlay to come a little bit farther to the middle, so you can see where it's cut. Here's center front. I added 2 inches and blended it back in up to here. I don't think you want to change where it is up here. It's overlaid about as much as it can, but I did want it to cover a little bit more as it came down. I didn't want the buttons kind of coming that way, so I added just a little bit to the overlay to the other side, and I did that both to the front and the back. So I added 2 inches, 2 inches again here at the bottom, and then just blended it up to the top there. I didn't make any changes in length. I didn't make any changes to the pattern other than that. Again, the overlay and one sleeve is the solid, and then the body and one sleeve is underneath. That's it. I decided to put them together with a fold over elastic, and I chose a black. Whatever your neckband finish is, I think is your choice. However, having said that, there's lots of fun ways to do this. Don't make it too mix and match. For instance, don't take the animal print and do a neckline finish. It's too much. Simplify. And what my focus is, obviously, as you look at this garment, is the focus is the buttons, and the focus is vertical. So when you start mixing it up and contrasting more, you take away from that focus. So leave your focus clear, simple, and in this case, it's the buttons. In the pictures you looked at earlier, in each case, it's the buttons. So keep that simplicity there. Let the buttons do what you wanted them to do in the first place, and then go from there. All right? So I actually sewed these buttons through both layers to keep the overlay in place. You don't have to. It's your option. But keep in mind, if you put the buttons just on the overlay, it'll have a tendency to swing the overlay open. So caution, I would just sew them through all layers. And then also when you're sewing on buttons of this size, there's just 2 holes. You want to make sure the angles of those holes stay the same. And you can choose whatever you want them to be. If you notice, I'm not sure if you can see the details, but I put those holes at an angle. Rather than up and down, I didn't like that. Across, I didn't like that. So you notice that they're going to the same angle as the overlay. I know that's a little detail, but I like it, and I wanted to kind of pass that along so that you could see that you can put those 2 holes however you want. You can contrast the thread or you can match the thread. That will make a difference. You could put another little button on top. And I think that I've seen that look before, and that look is great as well. So all these options you have, of course, that's why we love to sew. And the goal is get your fabric, get your pattern. Happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.